I am here with Tom Lee, OneFC lightweight, former LFA champion. How you doing, my man?
Not bad at all. How about yourself?
Again, just another day in paradise. I get to do what I love, and that's interviewing some of the best fighters in the world, yourself included. 10-2 overall. You got an upcoming fight with one championship. You're gonna have to help me out with this guy's name, Ryogo Takahashi.
Ryogo Takahashi. That's it.
That was pretty close. All right, so while we're on the subject of this opponent, why don't you tell us a little bit about him?
Dangerous guy, man. Great striker. He's got power in both hands, speed with his hands, speed with his leg kicks. He's going to be attacking low on those leg kicks. He likes the calf. He likes the inner thigh, depending on open or close stance, And he's real versatile with that low kick, and then he'll mix that, continue to attack from distance. And then when you close the distance to try to win the fight, he lets those hands go. And he's got, like I said, fast, powerful hands. He likes to swing hooks on the inside and really make you trade where he feels comfortable.
Okay, well, this being your third bout with OneFC, you're undefeated with the promotion and moving forward very quickly. How is it different fighting for one as opposed to an American promotion?
To be honest with you, a lot of things carry over. Very similar. Fight week, promotion, fight day, things like that. But the weight cutting process, or the lack thereof, is really, really nice. It's nice not to put your body through that and really get an extra full week of hard training. And it's awesome. It's really nice to be able to do that. And the fans over there are awesome, man. I talked about this before. Is a lot of guys talk about going over, to other guys' hometowns and things like that with hostile territory and all that. But the fans over there are freaking awesome, man. They love the sport. They love all aspects of the sport, which is really cool. And in particular, they definitely like a good knockout. So I try to provide stuff they like.
I'm glad that you mentioned the knockouts, because all of your fights have ended via finish. So it's a 100% finishing rate. And I'd say probably 95% of the time it's you getting work done with your hands. Okay. So how does the atmosphere feel when you get a knockout over there versus a knockout over here?
Fans are fans. They all love the exciting stuff. And I think that fans over here are just as excited and interested about finishes and knockouts and things like that. But it's pretty cool to see the education level of the fans overseas also. And it's really cool to see, like, during I'll say the lulls of the action, where you're setting certain shots up or drawing opponents in to cover the distance, things like that. Still really engaged, still really paying attention to the little things. So I think that's always it's awesome to kind of see that. And then it's really nice to be a part of a fan base that appreciates a little bit of martial arts humility and background, and really approaching the game a little different than some of the guys that just like to talk a lot of crap and make a show out of it. So we make a show, just a different kind of show.
Yeah, exactly. And I like to compare when fighters go overseas to I play in a band. And when bands travel to other countries, I'll use Mexico as an example, because I'm here in Arizona and Mexico is just a little bit ways down south. And the treatment that you get as a musician in Mexico is you get treated like a rock star, whether you're a band this big or you're a national act. So is it kind of the same feeling that you get from the fans, that appreciation, that knowledge? Where you get treated like you're a Conor McGregor when you're, a Yusuf Saidaluev or.
Yeah, it is really cool, to be honest with you. You step off that bus and you feel the energy. You feel the energy of the media. You feel the energy of the fans, and they like to let you know how they feel about it. And it's energizing. It's electrifying. I guess might be a little overused, but it's really cool.
Yeah, electric. I'm terrified of electricity, but I dig it. Now, another question I had for you is the rule sets over there. I know Ryzen allows soccer kicks, and I'm not really too familiar with one. You're my first guest from that fight promotion. Okay, so hell yeah, we're getting another one done. But what as far as like rule sets are concerned, like how does that differ from fighting over here?
So full MMA rules, knees and elbows, no problem. Everything's the same on the feet. As soon as we hit the ground, of course, punches and elbows remain, and then you can also knee a grounded opponent. You cannot do soccer kicks. You can
Okay.
knees to a grounded opponent's head. So that's a rule change that's interesting, dangerous, and if you're not playing it the right way, we'll get you slept. So
Okay, well, again, you've been doing a great job staying out of danger over there. You're 2 fights in and really only a minute and a half cage time over there. So I'm sure that they appreciate it. Now, I want to talk about your record overall. You got some pretty good wins. Moffitt over here that I'm looking at, Alex Black, and a lot of opponents early on in your career, way more experienced than you. You had a stint on The Ultimate Fighter where a lot of the guys were more experienced than you, and you fought dangerous guys like Kevin Aguilar, which was by far one of the best fights that I've seen in LFA. I'm sorry you took an L on that one, but it was a good fight overall. You know what I mean? And you're one of the better do you take solace in the fact that early on you put in a lot of work fighting guys, not really worrying about padding your record?
yeah, that's something that you kind of juggle with as a starting fighter, especially when you start going professional. You're like, well, isn't that the thing everybody does? You just kind of take a bunch of cans and stack your record so you can get to the big organizations like ONE and UFC and all that. But really, I wasn't in it for that. My main goal is not just to be in the big organization and win one of their belts. That is a huge goal, but the main goal for me is to be the best martial artist and best fighter on the planet. And you don't do that by taking the easy way. It's just not possible. It's just not a way you can do it. So a big thing that we did from day one is just making sure that we find the toughest guys that we can get a hold of, regionally, locally, and then stepping our game up from that to the next level, and then expanded with the entire U.S. And then past that, we're trying to go global, we're trying to get the best guys in the world. So it's definitely a more rare approach, and it might not be the best statistically speaking if you're trying to work your rankings up and make that record look good so you get the call. But it's definitely the best way to my goal, which is be the most developed and accomplished and final product of a fighter that you can be, and that's the way I wanted to do it. Fighting the best guys, going up in the right way.
Well, and you can really see that ONE kind of takes the same approach that you took to your career, right? They're not really concerned with records as far as the best mixed martial artist in the world. See, because they took you off your last fight in LFA with Aguilar, right? So they still sign you off an L, which you're not going to get that with any other promotion, and you're doing well over there. So I can definitely see that ONE. It kind of lines up with your views as far as mixed martial arts in general. Do you agree?
100%, 100%. And honestly, that speaks big to what they think about me, what they think about their fighters, and the way they treat their fighters. I think it's great. It's not just a numbers game, which results are a big part of this sport, and that's understood. But one part that is really interesting to me is that they can just take a look and see what type of fighter, what type of martial artist they want a part of the organization, and still do it off of an L, still do it off of maybe some time off from the sport, things like that. So they know what they're doing as far as grabbing the right guys, as far as talent goes, marketability, things like that. It's a great organization to fight for. I'm really excited.
Okay, and as far as like, you don't need to dive into numbers or anything like that, but as far as pay and do they like allow sponsorships, and are you allowed to go like the whole nine like you were with LFA?
Yeah, that's a really good side of the business too. Is you're allowed to do your sponsorships. You can bring those into the cage. You can bring those into a banner. Whatever you want to walk out to, things like that. And yeah, I'm definitely not complaining. When we say they take care of their fighters, we take all that into account.
And so the treatment over there outside of your fights is pretty good.
Absolutely. Great communication, great team over there. It's a pleasure to work with those guys.
Awesome, man. Okay, now 2-0 with ONE. I know there's title aspirations. You've held gold before in other organizations. I'm sure that's, where you want to get to. How far away do you think you are from gold with OneFC?
Who knows? We really got a stacked division in the featherweight division. There's a great list of contenders that have fought, will fight, trying to fight for the title. Great champion in Martin Nguyen. So it's it's a stacked division, and I've said this before in previous interviews, is I want to fight all of them on the way up to the top. So I'm in no rush to get to that final title fight or whatever you want to call it. I'll fight them all on the way up, or once I get there, fight them all as I'm defending the belt if that's an opportunity that I get. So I'm not in any rush. I want to fight the toughest and baddest dudes in the division. That's why I'm in the sport. If I could get a belt and nobody else would know about it, and I wouldn't have to defend it once, and I could just tell my friends and family and they'd believe me, I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't take it. That's not the goal. That's not the point. So I really like the route I'm taking right now.
Okay. I agree with that 100%. And one is doing something a little bit different from a lot of organizations where they have a plethora of champions signed to their organization, and they don't hold traditional, just a regular mixed martial arts card. They'll hold Muay Thai and, other forms of martial arts. Have you given thought to maybe, be on a card and not it be mixed martial arts?
It's popped up as far as the conversation goes. My focus is MMA right now and trying to be the best mixed martial artist on the planet. So that's where I'm gonna stick with right now, and we'll see where that takes us. That's not to close off any doors later on down the career.
There you go.
But right now MMA is the focus, and that's what I want to make sure all my eggs are in that basket.
Oh, well, fucking A. I can't argue with that, man. Definitely, I think MMA in particular, you got to have the skill set, the well-rounded skill set. So you got to have a little bit of everything. You can't just be a Muay Thai guy. You can't just be a wrestler. You can't just be a BJJ guy. You kind of got to have all the skills. So that leads me to my next question. When are you going to get your next submission win?
Yeah, when that opportunity comes up, we'll be ready. That's one thing I wanted to kind of elaborate on your last point, is that the reason I'm in mixed martial arts is I spent way too much time making my other skill sets support my striking and making my other skill sets very, very strong. And when the time comes, when the time arises for that to be whipped out and surprise some people, I think people will be surprised, and we'll see how that goes.
Well, like I said, you got a knack for getting it done on the feet, and that probably makes your submission game that much more I just don't think people are aware of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So before I let you go, you got the fight coming up. When is it? Shit, you're a couple days out. I keep thinking it's Monday. I'm still in December.
Hanging on to 2019. Huh?
Oh, no, hell no. I'm ready to get that the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I'm here in 2020. I got Thanh Lee. He's an undefeated one championship fighter. He's 10-2 overall, correct? Don't let me butcher the record.
Right.
Okay. He's got title aspirations. Before I let you go, I want to give you some time to thank whoever you want, training partners, sponsors, whatever. Take as long as you want, man. Go ahead.
Appreciate that. There's way too many people to thank. I mean, I'm sure you've heard that before, but that's the honest to God truth. But the tight knit camp. We've got Ryan Hall in town right now helping me out. Coach Sean Gayton always there to help from Mid City MMA. Ryan Hall, of course, from 50/50 Jiu Jitsu in Falls Church for my brother, and one of my great friends, Vin Lee, Evan Freeman, down here, always by my side, helping me day in, day out. And there's just way too many other people to thank, to be honest with you. But yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Mid City MMA, 50/50 Jiu Jitsu, Moon College, Taekwondo. Thank you guys so much for, of course, having me and facilitating all this growth and development in my game. And yeah, it's a ton of people that help in this sport. I'm the only one that steps in the cage on the 10th, but man, it's a crew of people that's made that possible.
Absolutely. And I want to thank you for being my first guest of 2020.
Yeah.
Hopefully it, sets us off to have a bigger a bigger year than we did in 2019. We started about April last year, so we're not even a full year old. We're still a baby, okay. But I do want to thank you for your time. And where can my listeners follow you?
You can find me pretty much anywhere, Thahn Lee MMA, on all my handles, Instagram, my Facebook fan page, Snapchat, Twitter, all of that good stuff. And check out Life of Libros, subscribe to that on YouTube. And yeah, I'll be around.
All right. And do you got a prediction for your fight coming up?
We're gonna get the W. I never really focus too tight on a finish, on a submission, on a route of victory. But you know, the way I see this playing out, we've got two strikers in there. We're gonna go head to head. It's gonna be a lot of fireworks. Somebody's gonna go to sleep.
I love it. I love it, man. Again, thank you so much for your time, and good luck. We'll be rooting for you here at HeadKick, man.
Having me.
All right, man. You take it easy, all right?